Okay, welcome back. Privacy. This is a growing area, okay? Not to be confused with like computer security, cybersecurity. Privacy now is much more personal. Now we're looking at how we protect your personal information. Okay, let's take a look at this. So when we think about privacy, let's look at some of the laws, some of the privacy laws, and how they could impact us. Like I say, personal data is constantly being collected and stored. Everywhere we go now, someone is collecting some type of personal data. Who owns that information and who has the knowledge? Well, let's say one of the biggest legislative pieces of legislation, that was been passed, and you see the age of that, right? 1974. I'm sure many people who are watching this was not even born in 1974. Yeah, but the Privacy Act of 1974, what did it do? Establish a code of fair information practices that governs the collection, the maintenance, the use, and dissemination of information about individuals that's maintained in a system of record by federal agencies, okay? There's a lot of key words in there. Like I say, maintained in a system of record and also by federal agencies. So if excuse me, you're working for a company that is not, commissioned by the federal government, then, there are ways that this may or may not apply in your environment. Now, what they've done in Europe, the European Union, they have passed the GDPR, and you're going to probably see more and more of this, okay? So I would definitely recommend getting more familiar with these two laws, the Privacy Act and the General Data Protections Regulation. Like I said, and this was a ruling, and this, again, deals with citizens in the EU, in the European Union, to protect the data of citizens, okay, within that EU. It covers any information that can be classified as personal details or can be used to determine your identity. And I think we're going to see something that looks very similar to this in the not too distant future in the United States as well, that will amend or update this Privacy Act of 1974. Like I said, also this Privacy Act sometimes goes hand in hand with the Freedom of Information Act. Freedom of FOIA, that is, as a citizen, I can request some type of, if I should have freedom to obtain federal documents or information. However, if there are some privacy issues, then both of those regulations and laws come into effect. But that is, two of the major pieces of privacy legislation that you'll see here in the United States as well in the EU. Now, what is expectations of privacy? Okay, so when we talk about expectations, let's start with privacy at work. Say most employers, and typically your employer, who you work for now, probably have a policy that explicitly eliminates any expectation of privacy when you are using a company-owned information system. If you're on the company's information system, don't expect privacy. Now, that policy, that regulation, they have to make that known to you up front. However, I'll just go with the mindset, never expect privacy on a government-owned information system. No more than I would expect privacy if I came to your home and asked if I could use your computer, right? Yeah, you want to know what I'm doing. Same thing with a company. Privacy in email. Actually, the federal law permits employers to monitor emails sent and received by employees. Yes, your email can be monitored. So don't think, well, I sent an email from work and get upset when they see that, okay, there was pornography or there was, some information in there that shouldn't have gone out. So privacy with your email at work, don't expect it. Privacy on the internet. Now, there's different things that's associated with this. One, I'd say a really big one here is the top of the Child's Online Privacy Protection Act. That was in 1998. Like I said, it impacts the design and operation of websites that cater to children, all right? But there are several of these, like I say. So what this does, and there's also what we call the libel, where it's publishing any intentionally false written statement that is damaging to a person's or to an organization's reputation. So expectations of privacy. Privacy and fair use of personal information. Most companies store and sell the data they collect on customers, employees, and others. So yes, if you look at you're on the internet now, you're on the websites, you know that if someone is collecting your data, they're collecting it for a reason. Many times they're collecting that to sell to someone else who can use that collection of data to help influence advertising decisions, e-commerce decisions, all of these type things. So that is just the digital world that we live in today. Now, these are like some of the privacy laws in addition to the Act of 1974. Like I say, and I'm not going to read these. Like I said, I'm just going to just point out some of the key ones. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, the E-Government Act of 2002. That's really trying to get everyone to go to e-forms and things of like this nature. FISMA, the Federal Information Systems Management Act. That's a big one in 2002. That drives a lot of the things that, from a policy perspective, that we do within the realm of cybersecurity and information security. So like I say, Records Act. Yeah. That way, the Records Act, so that anyone should be able to get a access to any information from the federal government that's allowed to be released. Okay, so a lot of these are policies. Definitely be aware of. Another big one, Klinger-Cohen Act, 1996. You may hear it called the Information Technology Reform Act. This opened up a lot of the way we do business now with respect to IT management and things like that. Okay, we're going to press right through this. We're going to go into intellectual property, IP, intellectual property.